A president demanding powers the Constitution never gave him. An executive order that could erase millions of votes. A party split, governors rebelling, courts bracing for a showdown. Troops in the streets, trust in the balance. Trump calls it honesty. Critics call it a coup in slow motion. Donald Trump has promised something no American president has ever attempted: issuing an executive order mandating voter ID in every election and banning most forms of voting by mail. Trump wrote on Truth Social,
"Voter ID must be part of every single vote. No exceptions. I will be doing an executive order to that end."
He doubled down.
Also, no mail-in voting, except for those that are very ill and the faraway military. Use paper ballots only.
But under the US Constitution, the power to regulate elections rests mainly with the states, and Congress has limited authority to impose national standards. The presidency? No role at all. Whether he can do this by executive order, I don't know, admitted Michigan State Senator Jim Runestad when asked by NBC on August 31st. But I know that by far the safest voting is in person with ID. That uncertainty, even among Trump's allies, underscores what experts call a looming constitutional crisis. The last time Trump tried to impose voting restrictions, federal courts stepped in. In June 2025, a Trump-backed law requiring proof of citizenship to register was blocked by a federal judge who ruled it could disenfranchise millions who lacked passports or updated citizenship papers. The Brennan Center for Justice estimates that 11% of eligible Americans lack the specific IDs demanded in strict states. That includes millions of seniors, minorities, low-income workers, and students. And yet, Trump insists fraud is rampant. He cites anecdotes and repeats claims from Russian President Vladimir Putin. "Your election was rigged because you have mail-in voting," Trump told Fox News last month, quoting Putin's alleged advice. In reality, election watchdogs and Trump's own former Justice Department officials found no evidence of widespread voter fraud in 2020 or 2024. Still, the White House says the order will come before the 2026 midterms, the first national referendum on Trump's second presidency.
Voter ID must be part of every single vote, no exceptions.
Trump's hard line may excite his base, but within the Republican Party, his mail ballot ban has stirred dissent. That's because Republicans themselves benefit from mail voting. In 2024, 14 states and Washington, D.C. saw more than 30% turnout by mail. Trump won half of them, including Utah, where a staggering 91.5% of ballots were mailed in, overseen by a Republican election office.
My view on vote by mail is that I think it should be permissible. But I also believe that currently, the way it exists, it is the highest risk for fraud.
Paul Dame, chair of the Vermont Republican Party, warned against going too far. "I don't think anyone supports a complete elimination. That would disenfranchise men and women overseas. I'm sure that's not his intention." Even in Ohio, where Trump has dominated elections for 2 decades, officials pushed back. Changes to Ohio's voting process require a vote of the General Assembly, said Ben Kindle, spokesman for Republican Secretary of State Frank LaRose. Democrats see something darker. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, promised any legislation would be dead on arrival. And Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accused Trump of planning to use federal troops to control elections.
He'd like to stop the elections in 2026, or frankly, take control of those elections.
Behind the political rhetoric are real voters who could be locked out. The fight over ballots is colliding with Trump's use of federal force in American cities. In June 2025, Trump shocked the nation by sending US Marines and federalized National Guard troops into Los Angeles during protests. Military leaders warned privately that the mission carried far-reaching social, political, and operational risks, according to documents revealed by Reuters. Now, Trump is eyeing Chicago. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said on CB on August 31, 2025, that LA wouldn't be standing today if President Trump hadn't taken action. She added that the White House was considering more federal deployments. Chicago's Democratic Mayor, Brandon Johnson, quickly signed an executive order banning city police from assisting federal forces. "This is not law enforcement, it's election interference," a senior aide said. Critics like Pritzker fear Trump could use troops to suppress voting or delay elections under the guise of public safety. He'll just claim there's some problem with an election, and then he's got troops on the ground that can take control, Pritzker said. Meanwhile, election security experts keep pointing out that fraud is negligible. The Heritage Foundation's own database, often cited by conservatives, lists just 217 convictions nationwide between 2020 and 2025. That includes all forms of violations, not just mail ballots, out of hundreds of millions of votes cast. Mail ballots suspected of fraudulent activity are set aside for further investigation, explained the Bipartisan Policy Center. When appropriate, they are referred to law enforcement for prosecution. Yet, Trump continues to frame the threat as existential. On August 18, 2025, he vowed, "We will begin this effort by signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm elections." He claimed Democrats cheat at levels never seen before. For voting rights groups, the true danger isn't fraud. It's the erosion of democratic norms, a president overriding constitutional boundaries, states forced into court battles, voters caught in the crossfire. The 2026 midterms will be the next battlefield. Whether Trump's executive order survives or is struck down by the courts could determine not only who wins Congress, but how much faith Americans retain in their elections. Easy to vote, hard to cheat, Posthumus said. But for millions of Americans, the coming months may test whether it is even possible to vote at all.